And it is now time for the annual post-wrestling jingle contest. The contest that just won't go away.
Every year it's at risk of going away. And I suppose what determines that is whether or not we get any entries. And every year we're incredibly nervous. John especially is so nervous that we're not going to get any entries at all. But you know what? You guys always come through.
We got the brave ones coming to the forefront, and those that have participated, no one is leaving empty-handed, okay? No one leaves a post-wrestling party without a gift bag at the end of things. Wei, do you want to alert people what they are playing for before we play these jingles?
Well, we should say nobody leaves naked from the post-wrestling Christmas jingle contest, okay?
Yeah, those were rough parties back in the day.
Nobody leaves without a shirt, all right? Everybody who enters, at the very least, gets a t-shirt from chop-tees.com/postwrestling, aka a $25 gift voucher to spend however you'd like. But for our runner-up, all right, you might not necessarily win the big prize, but you're leaving with a $50 gift voucher from chop-tees.com/postwrestling. But for our grand prize, the person who this year will have graced us with the best professional wrestling, post-wrestling parody Christmas jingle, $100 gift certificate from chop-tees.com/postwrestling. I haven't even talked about this with Dickie Bird, all right? Listen, we're good for it, Dickie, all right? Trust us.
His horse just flew him into a river as he was listening to this on his AirPods.
Yeah. So, yes. So we big prizes courtesy of course, our merch platform, which is chop-tees.com/postwrestling. The best place. The greatest. Shout out Dickie Bird. Still a couple varsity jackets in small, I believe, large and XL available, but you can also get t-shirts, hoodies, MCU later, hats, toques, all the great things, the greatest merchandise that you can possibly get to support post wrestling.
I need to get one of these zip ups, man. They look fresh.
Oh, the zip hoodies.
I like them.
I need to put it.
I can't wear one with my face on it. I couldn't walk out with my face on something, but
understandable.
I could compromise with half my brain though that I'm sharing with Wei. That one's nice.
How about a post pro res?
The post pro res. That's a wonderful logo that we had nothing to do with.
An NWA podcast hoodie. All right, listen. We're not just trying to make this a chop-tees ad, but we are.
It kind of is.
No. Okay.
But we genuinely endorse. Like if we had a nasty falling out with Dickie Bird, you know what I mean, and we had we parted ways. It was really nasty. I would have to come on here and say, I don't agree with this person, blah blah blah. But he makes great merchandise, and the shipping rates are pretty fair. I do have to say that as awful as a person as this guy is, it's a good business he runs. I would have to say that, or else I'd be risking my my objectivity.
Well, the rate is zero to pretty much most countries in the world. So yeah, I would say that is pretty fair. Okay, so there's that. Let's move on to some of the songs, the reason why people are actually here.
We're going to play all of the songs, and then Wei and I will deliberate in real time. We have not listened to any of these. We don't know what is contained in any of these, so we are listening to them for the first time, as are you, and then we will crown a winner at the end. So Wei, who is the brave soul to join first? And I always am partial to the person that breaks the ice in the forum each year.
Okay, so I agree. In years past, we've simply played this in the order that they've been submitted.
Okay.
But I personally feel like that might sometimes give unfair advantage. So without anybody realizing this, I'm doing things in reverse order this year, okay? We are going to play the latest entry to come in first, and then we will move our way up to the very first entry that came in. But the very last entry that came in here, just clocking in, I believe, I don't know, like an hour before the close of this contest, comes to us from a frequent contributor to the Post Wrestling Christmas contest, and that is Sancty, who sends it and just says, just in under the wire, but here we go. I usually have a go with something pop culture related, but thought after such an epic year in the WWE, it deserves something a bit more ambitious on my part. After all, this year has been anything but miserable or miserable. regarding the product on the screen and in the ring. Please forgive the scope and that it's not inherently Christmassy in nature. The scene in the show usually has lots of snow, though. Okay.
Listen, when we're grateful for all entries, we're hardly going to be sticklers for the structure of which you have presented said jingle. You guys are the artists. We are simply here to adjudicate.
So this song is called One More Year, and it is by Sancty. Here we go.
Hey, John and Way, and all the postmarks over at Post Wrestling. As Ian from Best Film Ever, saying Merry Christmas the way we do it. A little bit of musical theater. Merry Christmas, everybody.
1 year more. Another jingle for the Christmas show. About the grabs now under TKO. Every year this is our chance to say Merry Christmas now to John and Way. Long-term stories do abound.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't know that would cut it off. Let me play it again. Sorry. I can't, so I guess I can't do the lyrics at the same time. Apologies. Let's play it again.
Hey, John and Way, and all the postmarks over at Post Wrestling. As Ian from Best Film Ever, saying Merry Christmas the way we do it. A little bit of musical theater. Merry Christmas, everybody.
1 year more. Another jingle for the Christmas show. About the grabs now under TKO. Every year this is our chance to say Merry Christmas now to John and Way. Long-term stories do abound. Of fallen men who need redeeming. Roman reigns. The broadcast fades their final sounds before they make the move to streaming.
Another year with dirty jokes.
No moving Mac distortions. Creative now is back in check. It is the Triple H era. But now we call him Paul Levesque. Bloodline civil war about. They've expelled from the group. They've put the wise man through a table. Will Jay join his brother? Solo's got the hula fala. Said hula fala. What's Punk's promise gonna be? The time is now. The match is here. Okay. Tama Tonga Tonga Loa, the new bloodline's first relief. Jacob Fatu tells Sokoa that he loves his tribal chief. Punk and Drew face off at the Rumble. Punk is full. The Beano main event for Phil Brooks after all. Injuries take place. Minya's gotta miss. Drew wants CM Punk to know he prayed for this. Cody needs to end his story. A new contender does run. The Ron tries to steal his glory. Crybabies, don't buy a bloody belt to Mama Road. Did Cody think about the call? Look at what he's now unlocked. To stories cost the final ball. 1 year more. The most sensitive fuse to survive his match was Naomi going in there with the birthday night. They're stalling out for time. They barely get a touch. Can we get nice chance on the Italians much? I may not have felt to the hands of Sami Zayn. Now he's feeling uneasy when the bloodline wants a game. All these feuds they do with jewelry. Next month they move to Netflix. Next month we'll see what Hunter and then the Rumble have in store. One more Raw, one more week, 1 year
Wow. All right, that is 1 year more from Sancty, Ian from the Best Film Ever pod of Wrestling Christmas parody of 1 Day More from Les Mis. Thoughts, John?
My headphones were out the whole time, so I missed. No, I'm kidding. I am drawn to, the passing of a real seminal figure in our childhood, and that was Ricky Henderson, who just passed away a couple of days ago. And a lot of discussion of him being the greatest leadoff hitter in Major League Baseball history. And what we have started is one of the greatest leadoffs in post-wrestling jingle contest history.
I almost regret playing that first. That almost feels like it's a great closer,
I don't want the bloodline angle to culminate unless that is part of the video package. We will license it out on behalf of Sancty if such a request is made, but it would be very difficult to negotiate these rights for
I think the bloodline story should culminate at WrestleMania 42 with the entire cast coming out to break into song and singing this.
And at the end of the story, they're all introduced and they bow to the stagehands, and it's like playing the role of Sami Zayn in this ensemble cast.
Well, that would be cinema. That would be theater, actually.
They all come out and take their bow at the end of this story.
Let's give it up here. Ian, incredible voice. All right.
Female vocals on backup, which were outstanding. The crescendo. I really encourage people to listen back to this with the lyrics because just the writing of this, I think, was a task and a half, much less putting this to music. This was outstanding. This was as strong a start as we have probably ever had to this contest. I think that this was this encapsulated everything. When we hit there is a hope we have of what these jingles will be. And to me, the turning point of what makes a contender a winner is once I start to feel guilty for how much work was put into it to enhance this contest and this show. Sancty reached that for me in this first one.
There's a reason why this came in so close to the deadline, and it's very apparent in the finished product. This was, I would say, one of the more ambitious entries that I think we've ever had. When he decided to do the whole overlapping part with the choir.
Ambitious.
Ambitious, certainly. I have to say, I'm not familiar with the source material. Are you familiar with Les Mis?
No.
Okay. But it didn't affect your enjoyment. I mean, I do feel bad because I'm pretty sure obviously if I had familiarity, this would probably hit for me more. Hopefully those of you listening had that connection to it. But it's not something that I was immediately recognizing, but I did recognize the amount of work and I guess the very epic nature of the entire thing. So will it win? Will it win? Will it win the elusive $100 gift card from Chop Dash Cheese?
I mean, we're fighting for the big stakes here.
We shall see.
Who has to, in the words of Batista at WrestleMania 23, follow that?
That's it. And following that this year will be this one. I can already tell will be a bit one that might be a hit. This one comes to us from Alex Waller, who says, "Happy holidays to the post wrestling faithful." He says, "This is my first attempt at a jingle. All audio production was done by me, and the video was self-produced with royalty-free footage." And I decided to heed John's guidance of go wild with your theme. So here's a lo-fi garage rock interpretation of Mark Shapiro's comments from his recent visit to the 2024 UBS Global Media and Communications Conference. Big shout out to our man Neil Flanagan for transcribing these excerpts in this well-structured article, and he links to it right there.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this.
I find great joy in trying to create something using the most niche and silly components available. This little jingle contest brought me said joy, so thank you very much. All right. Well, this comes to us from Alex Waller. It is a song called Frothy. Oh, boy.
It's very sticky. All of that just does such a phenomenal job creatively. Working with refilling as well. And it seems the draft is script where all these superstars wanna come back. I mean, WWE is the ultimate. It's the Tiffany product in the space. When we look at live events, it's really twofold. It's ticket sales, it's IPs, and all the ticket sales from the Sphere is the highest grossing UFC event ever. And by the way, the highest grossing event ever at the Sphere. This is a real growth opportunity for us. So we have 24 marquee premium events a year, 12 UFC, 12 WWE with the PLEs, one per month, and 4 of those are in the Middle East, and 4 just for UFC are in Vegas. That's really a haul. Alright, the hub is the T-Mobile Arena over there. There's still more. We're going to get out of that and beat out a god and dance into 100 million, but also integration of the endeavor I serve. The audience is significant. Engagement just as strong. Demos equally strong. In 18 to 34, and with the proliferation of folks moving from digital to digital and digital, celebrating places from
That was Frothy by Alex Waller with, I guess, a special consideration to Neil Flanagan for his transcript of Mark Shapiro's UBS Global Media and Communications press conference interview.
Way, I can only recommend that if you are listening to this to watch. I have never struggled so much to get through and listen to one. I was in tears listening to this. The amazing part is that for a lot of these jingles, it is listeners that are applying their own lyrics, and it is amplifying the reality. This is taking his comments verbatim, which were more than enough for the material here to meet its mark and still increase the effect desired. Unreal. I feel like we just got like a 5-star Great Sasuke match at the 94 J Cup, and then he came back and delivered another one. This has been the 1-2 punch of starts to this jingle contest. Per capita, as Mark Shapiro would say, tremendous. Home run out of the gate. And it is only going to be supersized.
So I'll just say, I think a big part of the success of jingles in the past for these contests is knowing your audience. And when we're speaking about an audience, we're primarily just talking about John and I. And certainly Alex Waller knew his audience and knew John Pollock and knew what would make John Pollock
I tears coming out during that.
An incredible concept. Unusual to get this style of songs. Usually it's I guess we're very loosely at this point categorizing these as Christmas jingles. This was just very much, I think, just a song, a rock song, not very Christmassy at all. Will that work against Alex? Well, we shall see.
To me, this is one of my favorite holiday themes, period.
I'll just say this is how I want my TKO investor calls recap from now on. So if you could sign on Alex to do this permanently every quarter, it'd be great.
I mean, I can't even put the own words into my mouth. I just
delivering on the returns, increasing our margins.
I mean, that says it all right there. Tremendous, Alex. Both Sancty and Alex have just come out back-to-back home runs. This is a race. This is now a contest. I mean, that is, and the unenviable task of following that tremendous introductory jingle from Sancty, and we come out with that. I mean, man after my own heart here with the Mark Shapiro inspired jingle.
Up next comes to us from Ross Bentley, who says, "Hey, John and Wei, this is my first ever attempt at a jingle, so go easy on me. As we say goodbye to the latest AEWC show to join the rest of the canceled wrestling shows in the sky, I decided to give it a very undeserving tribute. Happy holidays to everyone at Post Wrestling." This song is called...
I already see the title.
Happy AEW, Rampage is Over.
I'm sure this is exactly what John Lennon had in mind.
So this is Rampage. And what have you booked? Some random matches. Probably one with Hook.
Poor Hook.
So goodbye to your Rampage. At least you had the first dance. But now you don't even announce cards in advance.
Very nice.
It's the end of Rampage. There's just one more show. I hope there is still time to book Aaron Solo. We'll remember you, Rampage. Lucha Bros vs. Young Bucks. Kenny versus Christian. Suzuki gives no fucks. We'll kinda miss you, Rampage. It's a show you can miss. At least until this month. Wait, Okada is on this? No one's watching Rampage. So here's a match with Sky Blue.
The strays are flying.
Who knows when it's airing? Finding that's up to you.
Not inaccurate.
It's a very merry Rampage. A fifth hour of TV. So for old time's sake, here's Action Andretti. It's another random Rampage. Jay Lethal is here. A distraction finish. Sanjay interferes. It's the very last Rampage on TNT. Maybe next time for Shockwave. Try harder, Tony. Dante Martin, Harley Cameron, Johnny TV, Daddy Magic.
My.
Merry Christmas, Post Wrestling.
That was Happy AEW Rampage is Over by Ross Bentley.
I mean, certainly it comes through. Ross Bentley, also a Rampage viewer, I feel. Someone that I feel has, unique attributes that you could certainly assign like as Rampage content. If I could be so bold, I feel this is how that final Rampage this Friday should begin, with this song.
Or should end, really.
And then we just cut to, it's Daddy Magic. It's Friday night.
Really, I think excellent lyrics. to me, like, it distilled basically the Rampage experience into its key points. Okay, Aaron Solo, Sky Blue, Action Andretti. It being a 5th hour of programming and probably like certainly the lowest on the totem pole.
Imagine that had been at AEW Rampage, the 5th hour.
Yeah. Not knowing what's going to be on the show anymore, but also mentioning its highlights. At least you had the first dance, really.
Yeah, 3 years ago, something really big did happen on Rampage.
At least
2.
you had the first dance, but now you don't even announce cards in advance. That's bars. Beautiful poetry here. Who else? Where else but the post wrestling jingle contest will you find somebody putting this much thought into the experience of watching AEW Rampage?
Yeah,
all right.
I think there's a very small percentage that are going to miss that bumper music. Doom doom. This is Rampage. Doom, 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 doom.
I'll at least say for Ross, you'll always have Ring of Honor. I think if you want to catch some of your favorites here, really really excellent lyrics. I do feel like with this song, it's always a risk with length because this is like a bit of a lengthier parody, but it is also a lot of potential for like really funny like parody. And I loved here at the end the refrain, Dante Martin, Harley Cameron.
Daddy Magic. You can't do a Rampage tribute without Daddy Magic attached to it. Yeah, the jingle contest has somewhat evolved into the song contest. Realistically, I mean, we're not exactly putting together radio jingles here, but the song quotient.
Well, I mean, what's a jingle and what's a song? I mean, is War is Over a Christmas jingle or? Is it more of a Christmas
I think
song?
of a jingle as like a 30-second ad.
I see. Okay. But what Christmas jingle isn't necessarily that by definition.
Yeah, I understand. We have loose parameters here.
We just need some form of song. It's fine.
Lyrics very strong, yes on the length, but very witty. I would say state that and timely as well, as we are just days away from the finale of Rampage. Unless some miracle on 34th Street occurs.
Another excellent contribution here. Thank you very much, Ross, for that. Let's go up next to our defending champion from last year. This is Double H from Sweden, who has a song called Somewhere in My Memory. Well, actually, let's just start off here with what he says. He says, Happy holidays from the reigning, defending, undisputed post-wrestling Christmas jingle contest champion of the world, Double H from Sweden.
That's from his email signature, by the way, that he used all year.
Last year, my submission was a duet between CM Punk and Tony Khan. This year, I'm continuing the chronicling of CM Punk's career with a new duet. Twas the night before Survivor Series 2023, and Phil Brooks must confront his past in order to make amends with his future. This is Phil Brooks and Paula Beck's.
Is this Ebenezer Brooks?
Somewhere in My Memory by Double H from Sweden.
FedEx in the mail. Pipe bomb. FedEx in the mail. WrestleMania. I failed at wrestling.
Punky, wake up. Punky.
What?
You were dreaming again.
Oh, AJ. Babe, it was so real. I saw my whole career pass before my eyes. All of the promotions I wrestled for and all the mistakes I made along the way. And then I sang a duet with Tony Khan for some Canadian podcast's Christmas jingle contest.
You what?
I know. I had this weird Swedish accent and I didn't sound like myself at all. But the dream culminated with me coming back to WWE at Survivor Series. Tonight, here in Chicago.
No. You can't be serious. You're actually thinking of going back? After all they did to us?
What do you want me to do, huh? I'm hurt, and I'm old, and I'm tired. Tired of being home. Tired of being home alone. I'm going out for a ride, babe. I have to make a call. fences needing mending, and all the mania moments that didn't happen. WrestleMania main event somewhere in my memory. That was the one thing that mattered to me.
Paul, wake up.
Oh,
He's calling. He's calling.
who's calling? Your dad?
No, stupid, it's him. Look.
Oh my God, Steph. It's really him. Go back to sleep.
Where are you going?
I'm going out for a ride, babe. On my Harley, 'cause I'm a biker. Punky, I can hear you. Hunter works, but it's Paul now. I too have been thinking of fences needing mending, and all the mania moments that didn't happen. All the t-shirts I can sell somewhere in my memory. FedEx gate is all behind me. Living in my memories. All of the music, all of the matches, all of the family home in WWE. I'm outside the Allstate Arena in the parking lot. You coming? Yeah, I'm pulling up right now. Can you see me? Is that you on the bike? Yeah, I'm a biker. Hey, I see you. I can see you. Oh, Hunter, look. It's snowing. It's snowing. Come here and give me a big ol' hug, you filthy animal. Yeah, give me a hug. Now, let's have you walk out tonight and then win the Royal Rumble. How are your body holding up? Better than ever. But what about Cody? We'll figure something out. We always do. Yeah, we always do. By the way, have you heard from Dwayne recently, or? Nope, not a word. Not a peep. Haven't heard from him in years.
Beautiful.
So many thoughts.
Somewhere in my memory from Double H from Sweden, our defending champion. in the
Our
Post-Wrestling
defending
Christmas
champion. I will envision that's exactly how things went down. And that is how it all came together, ending with CM Punk in the parking lot of the Allstate Arena doing Snow Angels, while speaking with a Paul Levesque that has probably gone through a diet of like hard liquor and cigarettes with a slight French accent mixed with Barney Gumble to produce that version of Paul Levesque. What an interesting concept of taking the CM Punk Paul Levesque relationship and like handing the reins off to like Tim Burton to come up with a film that would describe these two.
Oh, it's an epic tale, isn't it? You know, that I don't know if we have enough focus and discussion about that. You know, everything that they've been through, and culminating in what has proven to be a pretty excellent working relationship that the two have. So, Double H here putting it into a song. Now, what I always appreciate about the Double H style of pro wrestling Christmas parody, it's not just about the lyrics. It's not just about the song. It's everything in between. This man put a lot of effort into these skits. We're talking about cameo appearances, not just from Punk and Triple H, but also their significant others, Stephanie, AJ. Sound effects being put in here with the call vibrations and Triple H's biker, because as we all know, he's a biker. And a very daring Triple H impression that I thought was absolutely hilarious. A lot of great work put into this one from Double H, who submitted his entry 5 days ago. So we got to consider that maybe for some extra points.
A great follow-up from last year's winner in Double H. And again, the labor through the roof this year of the contestants that have submitted.
Yes. Up next, we go to somebody who enters every single year. And I would say more often than not, the first person to submit. So again, bonus points to this person. This is Canadian Bulldog, who actually, what's our ruling on multiple entries, John?
I'm lax on it. He was the first to enter and was a welcome post when I logged in to see his edition. So you have picked two of his selections.
Yeah, okay. So we have two selections from Canadian Bulldog. You'll hear the both of them. We're probably only going to give one prize, but you have two chances, all right? And we give that special privilege to Canadian Bulldog for being extra early. This one is the first of two. It is called Joe Hendry is Coming to Town.
You better watch out, you'd better conceive that he'll come around if you just believe. Joe Hendry is coming to town. The most viral name for wrestling in years. Just say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry is coming to town. He shows up on TNA Impact, sometimes on NXT. He'd show up for your indie fed, but he doesn't work for free. Oh, you better watch out, you better not hide. Just wave your hands from side to side. Joe Hendry is coming to town. He's making a list of where next to show, from America, Scotland, Canada, Mexico. Joe Hendry is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you are wrong. And if you disrespect him, well, he'll diss you in a song. Oh, you better all start being Joe Hendry fans. And when he arrives, start clapping your hands. Joe Hendry is coming to town.
The first of two entries from Canadian Bulldog. You can download that song at merchandiseandmemories.com, where I believe he probably must have a whole bank of these Christmas song parodies by this point.
I think he has a library unto himself that he dusts off. And, but I mean, timely with this year, a notable one from one Joe Hendry. Let's go into his next entry, and then unless you have any further thoughts.
Well, I mean, you know, pretty ambitious here to parody the song. The king of pro wrestling song parodies himself. So a high standard. And let's reserve some of our thoughts until the very end. But this is his first entry here, the very first one that was submitted this year. This is Canadian Bulldog's Ring the Bell.
While in Montreal, I thought it a sin. Didn't want to job or give Sean the win. Vince came to the ring, looked at every boy and girl, and then McMahon, he waved his hand, signaling the end to the world. Oh, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the f***ing bell. Vince grew bread to his regret, and now he'll go to hell. Oh, with injuries to sell.
All right, short and sweet. There we go. All right, so thank you very much, Canadian Bulldog. John, your thoughts on either or both of those entries?
Fine entries as always by Canadian Bulldog, and also going very obscure here with the Montreal as well.
So does that work against him?
I mean, it's I'm fine with going this route as long as it's a unique source of inspiration. And I mean, we do have a slight, ring the bell. I mean, he did kind of amalgamate such a term into the Christmas theme.
He did, yeah. So in all of these entries, I mean, ultimately, I think we look for our reactions. I also do consider maybe the depth of that. Not to say these are deep, lyrics, but how far did somebody go in coming up with some of their lyrics? I thought this was if I'm looking for a Jingle Bells parody of the Montreal Screwjob Jingle Bells parody, I don't know if I could be asking for more than this. Very clever, ring the bell. Vince screwed Brett to his regret, and now he'll go to hell. I think that's catchy as hell. That's very funny. But I guess I'll say it maybe more so for the Joe Hendry one. I didn't necessarily think there were like a ton of lines that popped us. So very good in concept, totally fitting with the theme of I think what we're asking for. But I don't know if either of the songs were all that impactful for me in the ways that some of these others were. But
we got tough decisions to make. We gotta be able to we've got to monitor these at scale.
Well, maybe John feels differently. So the judges will now deliberate. All right. We should maybe do you have a standout immediately, or do you need any sort of recap?
Well, I don't think anyone is going to be surprised. I think it's a 2-horse race for first place. I think that I have my pick as number one. I don't know if it'll be the same as yours, but I don't think I'm going to surprise too many people with my pick.
Okay, just as a quick recap, let's play a snippet from every single one of our entries here. And the first one we played, of course, was Sancty's, who had
Hey, John and Way, and all the postmarks over at Post Wrestling. This is Ian from Best Film Ever saying Merry Christmas the way we do it. A little bit of musical theater. Merry Christmas, everybody.
1 year more. Another jingle for the Christmas show. How about the grabs now under TKO? Every year this is our chance to say Merry Christmas now to John and Way. Long-term stories do abound of fallen men who need redeeming. Roman Reigns.
Okay. Before I launch into the rest, yes, that was 1 year more by Sancty. We also have Frothy by Alex Waller. Here's a snippet of that. Okay, it's the Tiffany product in the space. That was Frothy by Alex Waller. And then we've got Ross Bentley's Happy AEW Rampage is over.
Blue. Who knows when it's airing? Finding that's up to you. It's a very merry rampage. A 5th hour of TV. So for old time's sake, here's action and Andretti.
Okay. That is Hey AEW Rampage is over by Ross Bentley. And then up next, we've got Double H from Sweden's, our defending champions, duet, Somewhere in My Memory with Paul Levesque and CM Punk.
One thing that mattered to me.
Paul, wake up.
Oh?
He's calling.
Who's calling? Your dad?
No, stupid, it's him. Look.
Oh my God, Steph. It's really him. Go back to sleep.
Where are you going?
I'm going out for a ride, babe. On my Harley, 'cause I'm a biker.
Okay. There we go. So that is from our defending champion Double H in Sweden, Somewhere in My Memory. And then we have the two here from Canadian Bulldog. Joe Hendry is coming to town.
Does it work for free? Oh, you better watch out. You better not hide. Just wave your hands from side to side. Joe Hendry is coming to town.
And of course, ring the bell.
His hand signaling the end to your world. Oh, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the f***ing bell. Vince grew bread to his regret, and now he'll go to hell. Oh, ring the bell.
Very catchy, very catchy. All right, so those are this year's entries. What are your, do you want to do like a top two?
Yes, let's do a top two. My number 2 pick is 2 was tough because my second place, it came between Double H, who I really thought put a lot of like great references, great, like I really enjoyed his CM Punk Paul Levesque ballad. But I am going to go with Sancty for number 2. Just an epic start to this year's Jingle contest. Incredible. I love the overlap lyrics. Again, I'm not a Les Mis, someone that has seen it, but regardless, maybe that's even more of a strength to it, is that it can cross over and you can appreciate it with or without the influence. But my number 1 is Alex Waller, who just came out and destroyed me while listening to this. I was in tears listening to this, and I just I have to vote. He was the Tiffany product in this space this year.
So that is Frothy by Alex Waller. This year is really tough for me. You know, I'll be honest in saying, like, I don't think there was like one song that significantly stood out for me. So I feel like I have to kind of grade this on like how much time I feel people put in. Again, you know, like recapping it, I think like Alex Waller had probably the best concept of an idea. Certainly one that worked the best on John. So that's worth a whole lot. I think Sancty put in a lot of time and effort. Same with Double H. You know, both of those parodies are, I think, of the highest quality. Like in terms of thought, in terms of like just strength of lyrics. I thought Ross Bentley had an excellent concept too. With the Rampage, like excellent lyrics for that one too. And I think Canadian Bulldog, his strength was the fact that like his were so quick and to the point, and got them done, you know, and entered quickly. So I would say like it's been really hard. Everybody kind of had their strengths. If I had to like maybe kind of like put my vote in on the spot and take things over the top, I think my top 2 will be the ones that worked the best for me were Double H and Ross Bentley. Those are my choices. So I think we have completely different choices.
Totally different as well. So I don't know how we follow on this with a tiebreaker scenario. So I'm going with Alex Waller. Your choice for number 1 is
Double H from Sweden.
Double H from Sweden.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a wide so and Ross Bentley is number 2 for you.
Yeah.
Boy.
So it doesn't really help at all.
How do we do this way?
We have to. There has to be a winner. Okay. We need to tie break. Let's. Maybe I'll give you. We gotta call somebody to tie break.
What?
We have to have maybe a third voice, third person. We got to maybe send these to somebody and ask. It's really hard. I mean, listen, we're recording this like beforehand. Otherwise, we'd just ask a chat room. We don't have that ability right now.
Can we put this up for a vote?
Yeah, but we kind of need to have a result, right?
Okay.
By the time we're done this, do we just go ahead and give 2 winners?
let's go with the co-winners then. You're number one and my number one.
Okay, so are we giving 2 grand prizes, or do they just do we give 2?
You're the prize distributor. You're making that decision.
All right, we're feeling extra generous this year. For the first time in the Post Wrestling Christmas Show history, we have 2 winners, co-champions. It's the Royal Rumble, where both people have feet have touched the floor at the very same time. We have 2 winners. That means 2 $100 gift certificates to chop-tees.com/postwrestling. That's it. And the rest of you guys, thank you all for entering. You all submitted incredible entries. You've won $25 gift certificates to spend at chop-tees.com/postwrestling. But 2 winners, Double H from Sweden, and also Frothy by Alex Waller. I think just for John Pollock's reaction, we should probably go out with Frothy as well.
Okay, one more time. Congratulations, Alex Waller, on my behalf, as well as Way's selection for Double H. 2 tremendous. Listen, everyone who submitted in the Jingle contest, we thank you greatly. And all of you for a tremendous year here at Post Wrestling. We hope for even bigger and better in 2025. All new changes go into effect January the 8th. We'll probably get something up on the website so everyone can have it in front of them so they can observe all of these changes that are going to be coming in the few weeks to come. But thank you, as always, to all of our great contributors on the site. We have an outstanding team. Wei Ting as well, the man that keeps everything running at a feverish pace behind the scenes at Post Wrestling.
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening. If you've listened this far to the entire show, especially thank you. Hope you guys have a wonderful holidays.
And now we go out with a special Frothy Merry Christmas.
It's very sticky. Pollock just does such a phenomenal job creatively, working with refilling as well. And it seems that draft these scripts where all these superstars